the corals. One day, Sakina decided to explore the beauty of the ocean. She hopped into a submarine along with her guide and Captain Mr. John. As she was enjoying the ride, a splash of colors caught her eye in the crystal blue waters. Wow! These multi-colors are so vibrant and attractive. Look at the strange shapes of these plants and the fascinating creatures around it. Plants? Not at all. They are actually tiny animals. They look magnificent. I would love to know more about them. They are called coral reefs. They're animals and are often referred to as the rainforest of the sea. Since they are home to all marine life, thousands of species of fish and millions of other organisms depend upon coral reefs for their survival. So, how are they actually formed? Coral reefs are formed when clusters of coral larvae attach themselves to submerged rocks or other hard surfaces at the edges of islands or continents. The coral polyps secrete skeletons from the underside of their skin, which are made from calcium carbonate. This also protects the coral animals from predators. They create conditions where new coral polyps can attach themselves and eventually form large areas of coral reefs. That's amazing! The Great Barrier Reef has the world's maximum corals, but alas, 50% of the coral reefs are being destroyed and another 40% of the corals could be lost in the next 30 years. That is so sad. I can also see some white patches on some of them. That is coral bleaching. When the water is too warm, the corals expel the algae living in their tissues and turn out white in color. And if the bleaching is severe, the corals may die. Any reason for destruction of these magnificent reefs? Climate change along with overfishing, coastal development, careless tourism, pollution, ocean acidification is doing irreparable damage to our corals. Why don't people do something about it? Most people are unaware, but coral reefs do more than just provide us with natural beauty. They buffer shorelines from the effects of hurricanes. Around 500 million people earn their livelihood from fishing stocks and tourism opportunities. These tiny animals are offering new drugs to treat diseases such as cancer. Oh really? In spite of being so useful and important, these tiny little magicians seem to have a bleak future in this fast-growing world. You are right, Sakina. If we don't take drastic steps to protect these corals, we will have nothing to show our future generation. According to me, climate change is greatly affecting the survival of coral reefs. World leaders must implement sustainable solutions and long-term plans to reduce these effects on corals. Secondly, overfishing must be controlled. Tourists must be more responsible. Divers should be careful not to pluck, walk on, or take their fins on coral reefs thinking they are plants. In fact, marine protected areas must expand to 30% of the ocean. I feel spreading awareness through education is a must, which will definitely help in the protection and restoration of the coral reef. I strongly agree. Restoration and coral farming is already happening in the Philippines, Australia and Thailand. I hope the world realizes the importance of these tiny creatures. People should be made aware of the consequences of their actions. We must change our habits for the better and preserve the beauty of our oceans. I am doing my best to save the corals. I would love it if you would join me too, and we could create a beautiful change to save the corals.